AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Somebody gotta tell Ja Morant, come on, baby mama, get your shit together, man. Flea, your man Ja Morant's wilding. He got suspended, what, one game?
One game.
One game for, I guess, counter detrimental to the team, however you pronounce that shit. Apparently, it was from him cursing out the coach, right? Or just not wanting to go back in. And he hasn't been performing like Ja Morant before. Last game, he was doing well, but it's been a little crazy for him to start the season. Insider reveals why Ja Morant hates playing for the Grizzlies head coach Toamas Lisalo. I'm going to hold back judgment. Questions surrounding Ja Morant and Grizzlies stars' future with his team have continued to be raised over the past several days. Now, recent reports have emerged implying that the friction or tension between Morant and the Grizzlies runs deeper than many presumed. Over the past few seasons, Morant has established an infamous reputation for himself, has been suspended multiple times for his off-court behavior. Fans had a hope for the Grizzlies to leave those in the past and enter this ongoing season with a positive mentality. Ja Morant is not on the same page with the Grizzlies coach. The Dallas Hoops Journal writer Ashish Mathur claims that Morant prefers the Grizzlies' previous coach, Taylor Jenkins, and hates playing for Lisalo. The Grizzlies' cornerstone has allegedly found an issue with Lisalo's short shifts lineups and frequent substitutions. After all, decisions such as timeouts and substitutions have a huge role when leading to victory. So that's what led to Lisalo firing Ja Morant. Everybody has something to say, including our guy Carmelo Anthony. Let's tap in, as he would say.
You know how hard it is to go to work and some people want you there and other people don't want you there. I'm sure people go through this every day in life, right? This ain't nothing new. But when you in a basketball environment, when you're in a sporting environment,
spotlight's
not even a spotlight. When you're in a team environment, and you know coaches don't want you there, you know front office don't want you there, but they can't do nothing about it right now. That's a hard situation to be a part of. How can I come perform, right? How can I come perform when y'all don't even want me here?
Tough stuff.
That's mellow buckets on Ja Morant. How can I even perform here when y'all don't even want me here? That sounds like you're sleeping with a ghost, man. Like you're in a relationship. That sounds crazy to me. What's your reaction to the young man, Ja Morant, man? Not only he's acting a fool, but you see other players, you see Kenya Martin. I don't say blaming his father, but he wants to know what the relationship between the father and Ja Morant is, T Morant and his son, Ja Morant. And Carmelo is saying, keeping it more, hey, I was a player once, I was a superstar player once. I've been there, done that, Flea. What you thinking about with everything?
And the Ja Morant situation is interesting, and it's been playing out in front of us for a couple of seasons now, right? This is not the first time he's been suspended. The league suspended him a couple of seasons ago for, again, conduct detrimental to the league, really, right? Not even to the team, but really to the league. Flashing guns, just being irresponsible. I think that marriage is over, right? To be honest with you. I think it's time that they go their separate ways. Now, on one hand, I do feel like there's a huge accountability that Ja Morant has to take on, right? There was the culture of the grit and grind before he got to Memphis. That kind of fizzled out. They draft him, and then he kind of reignites the city with who he is, the type of player he is. Electric, playing over the rim, an exciting guy to watch, especially at the guard position. But now it's just he doesn't give me the maturity level that you should have when the keys is handed over to you of a franchise. He doesn't seem responsible. He doesn't seem accountable. And the leadership qualities off the court are questionable, right? And that always starts, we always talk about the kids. It always, when we talk about kids misbehaving, right? And at school and bugging out, then you say, nah, it starts at home. It starts at home. I mean, let's keep it a buck, right? It starts at home. You got T Morant on the sidelines all the time with a drink in his hand, right? He's the biggest cheerleader in the Grizzlies organization, right? He creates celebrity row. Ain't no fucking celebrities at the Grizzlies game but T Morant, right? And he travels with the team. He's in every arena, lit, sunglasses on, rocked up, pause. with a cup in his hand, acting. He's got thrown out of games already. So there's like a lack of leadership already that starts at the crib. So now we're expecting Ja Morant to be this model citizen when there's a lack of daddying. You've never got daddy before. So how do you expect this grown kid to understand how to be a grown man? So I think at this point now, two things need to happen. He needs to grow up, number one. And number two, that relationship needs to change. He needs a new change of scenery. He's not going to elevate that Grizzlies team anymore. You can see they're wearing on each side the relationship between him and the relationship on the other side. They got rid of the coach, and if he loved the coach that much, he should have had say so in whether the coach was going to be gone or not. So I don't know if he signed off on that. I don't know if he was okay with that. Clearly he wasn't. But the organization clearly doesn't respect you enough to say, we're going to keep your guy because you're the future of our franchise. So they clearly don't think he's the future anymore. So let's move on.
You know what's funny? I was trying to think of a player that was in Ja Morant's circumstance, and I think for me, Kyrie came up. Just these culture guys. Allen Iverson came up. I think there really is something to the genius kind of players that you can't explain charisma. You just can't. Because Iverson was authentic in all of our minds. Kyrie was like authentically kind of just growing in real time, however he was expressing himself. And then John Morant is really Clarence from 8 Mile. I've heard the jokes already, but he's still, it doesn't come off like he still has a real swagger to him. Kyrie had a real swagger to him. Ant-Man is in the same kind of category where they can lead a culture. I don't, and I think that it takes a certain kind of genius to pull that off. And we don't realize it. Sometimes it's like a lightning in a bottle. You can't explain it. They can't even explain it. He's like, I'm just being me. That's what it feels like. And I just think he has to learn how to just be fake for the public for a second. You can't all this. What are you gonna do? What are you really doing out here?
But
Like,
is it really fake? But is it really fake though? He went to private school. His name is Demetrius. Like, he's a young man from the suburbs. He's not.
no. But
He didn't
see,
grow. He didn't grow up shooting guns and being outside. He just got locks. He just started growing his hair as an adult. Like, why are we talking about this young man
so
like
he,
he's
so
from
he's
that
so
life?
he's Ja. This oh that sounds crazy. He's Ja 69.
Nah, for real though. Why are we acting like this young man? It's what he's putting on right now is a persona, in my opinion. Who he really is the button-up kid. Both him and
So
his
so
dad.
is
They got a couple
so
of
is
dollars and now they bugging.
so is AI. So is Kyrie. Theirs just wasn't fake. He's like, there's a bunch of rappers. I'm the biggest Pac fan in the world, bro. He was authentically pulling off some bullshit. Nobody did it better. Like, this guy was really lying. And then he said, yo, I'm gonna go all out, fuck it, and die over this. Now, until Ja Morant is willing to die over this shit, I'm not really gonna. That's been going too far for me because I don't like what Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp said. Yo, I know some real gangsters and he's not a real gangster. Shut up. You're not a gangster. Who
Gangster.
cares? The kid, this is what got him to the Nike deal. This is what got him to the leading to the Memphis Grizzlies was the second seed.
Mm-hmm. Well,
They
yeah.
won't like you can't. It's like with the Kanye thing too. It's hard to tell somebody who's built like this and took it all the way to this level with that engine. It's hard to tell him that he's wrong. And Ja has to learn that on his own. But what I mean by fake is if you really feel like doing that and this is happening, you need to revamp, bro, because you could blow it all. Like, I didn't think about it until you just said, "Yo, if you really wanted that, coach, they took that away from you for a reason. Like, they're showing you you have no pull around here, really. Keep it up. We're just looking for the right trade, which looks like." I don't even know. Where would you like to see him go, Flea?
A couple teams come to mind. Like I said, he looks like a guy that could fit in that Miami culture. Miami's the first team that comes to mind.
Hold on. And he's gonna be a fake Sapase?
No. What I'm saying is no, what I'm saying is if he goes down to Miami, right, there's always this back and forth conversation if there's really a culture in Miami, if there's really a culture. And I just saw Jason Williams talking, and Jason Williams confirmed that like there's a real culture there, right? How we always hear Pat Beverly talk about I learned how to be a pro in Miami. Jason Williams, we just heard Jason Williams talking about and giving credit to how much structure was there in Miami that helped him and obviously become a champion there in Miami. So I just think, this could be Pat Riley's kind of last hoorah before he goes out into the sunset and going to getting Ja Morant, kind of turning that situation around, bringing him into Miami, resetting the foundation of who he is as a basketball player, and kind of cleaning up the image and putting him with a world class organization, right? No matter what you want to say about him, the Miami Heat are considered the upper echelon in terms of franchises in the league. So my first thought is him headed over there to Miami. I mean, yeah, first thought. Second thought is Milwaukee. Obviously, having a lead guard is necessary in today's NBA. Milwaukee's a little different, right? How they're structured right now, from what I'm seeing is they're gonna be in the hunt. They're like Giannis is the what do we want to call it? The Saturn, and it has the rings, and like Giannis is the center, and he has all of these rings around him with all these kind of players that play defense, hit shots, and just play their role. But he's the what do they call that? The orbit? Is that the orbit? Like the middle, the center, the whatever the word is, right? But it's that he's that guy, and everybody's around him, and they got something good. That Damian Lillard thing didn't work out, so it gives me cause to pause. Do they need like a heavy ball dominant guard to be over there with him? So Milwaukee is a thought, and then Boston for real. You trade him for Jaylen Brown. I like the idea of it.
Basketball wise.
Yeah, you broke the team down already. You've hit the pinnacle of what you're gonna do with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, which is win a championship. But I don't know if you're gonna be in that position to win multiple championships building around those two guys again, like doing it again. The league is a little different now. There's a lot of good teams. That whole the East is weak shit. We need to rethink that. People might have, even ourselves, we kind of jumped out the window with that after watching this first 10 or so games. The East ain't weak. There's a lot of teams that are going to be around in the mix. So those three teams first come to mind. I don't see him getting traded in the Western Conference. I highly doubt
Um, as you were talking, I did hear this rumor. I didn't make it up. I read it somewhere on Twitter, probably. The Sacramento Kings make the most sense. That's what they
it.
should run on test too from the Pacers. As a
Ugh.
basketball fan, we don't want to see it, but where else is a guy like that gonna go? I hate to say he's a lost cause, but it would take a life-changing ayahuasca trip revelation for this dude to really take basketball seriously like that. And ain't no disrespect to him, but just play ball, bro. That's the only thing we always talk about on here. Like everybody else can comment on his pops and we can do it too. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's talking to him. He has to sit there and go, I just want to ball out, bro. Iverson said practice, not the game that I love. Like just people overlook what Iverson was saying. Not saying he was all the way correct, and I know
Right.
the moment, but just the
Yeah.
fact, not the game that I love. I'm always gonna play that. There's nothing you can do to stop me from getting in that game. And I think John Morant doesn't have that part of it. And I don't know if he's gonna. Miami sounds like a good plan, but I don't know.
But the best ayahuasca places are in Florida, man. I heard they got the best The ayahuasca place is down in Florida, word to mother. So, I mean, kill two birds with one stone, right? And recenter yourself, right? Have a nice ayahuasca trip, no pun intended. And you know what I mean? Go down there, get in Miami, get some of that good sunshine, get some of that good weather. You know what I mean? Some of that heat. You in the hood. You in Memphis. Memphis nasty, bro. I've been to Memphis a few times. It's nasty. It's not the flyest place. Bill Street doo-doo. Like it ain't the flyest place. They got my man Martin out of here. That's where Martin got. They've been killing folks for years in Memphis. Lorraine Motel is beautiful, but that's where they got our son MLK out of here. Like, get Memphis the fuck out of here, man. Like,
well,
there's
you
nothing
mentioned
exciting
Florida.
about that season. There's nothing exciting about that city.
Dang, not even Elvis.
Memphis people not gonna like me for saying that, but it's the truth. What's out there?
I heard nothing
Nothing.
but great things.
I had a good
I
time.
want to see.
Go get drunk. Big booty white women. We call them the Husky Whites.
I thought we call them hogs.
Y'all call them that. We call them the Husky Whites. Husky ones.
How do I transition? So in Florida, apparently there are some Husky Whites, and there's a place we want to see Ja Morant go, and that is where he culture was at its peak with LeBron James. Come on now, the legend himself. His Lakers, yes, they're still his Lakers. Apparently, are now 7-2. They won 5 games in a row. Luka Doncic is on complete fire. Austin Reeves had a 50-point game, 40-point game. They're going crazy. They just beat the Spurs recently, but recently acquired Kenny Smith from the ESPN network. He had something to say about LeBron James coming back to the Lakers.
Going to be the most interesting part is when LeBron comes back, because the two guys who've had the most success while he's out, they're very ball dominant. So they need the basketball to make plays. They're playmakers, not play finishers. Play finishers is a guy who just waits, dunks it. Perk was a play finisher. Just let him dunk it. You know, but no, I'm just saying, no, you put him in the box right there. Like I'm driving and put him in a dunk spot. He's going to dunk it. But then there's guys who know, no, I got to create to get a rhythm. And now, can you have three guys on the same team be creators? I know, Coach, you had Jokic. You can't have three Jokic's.
Right.
It's impossible to have that because there's not enough ball movement and body movement to win. So it's going to be interesting to see what LeBron does and how he slides in.
There you have it, folks. Kenny Smith. LeBron James will destroy the Lakers from inside out. He will obliterate the Lakers' current chemistry. But in all seriousness, he brings up a good question for us. Is Kenny Smith hating on the Lakers or really LeBron James when LeBron James does come back? Or do you think that he's going to help the Lakers? And if not, do you think Kenny Smith is actually correct?
I mean, this is a unique situation because this is the first time you ever got to question if the presence of LeBron James on a basketball team is going to be a detriment or is it going to be something that takes them to the next level. And the way the Lakers are playing right now, right? Playing together, everybody's touching the basketball. Luka is playing at a supreme level. He's got a sidekick with him in Austin Reeves, who's got a lot of confidence right now, shooting the ball. He's almost taking 20 shots a night, Austin Reeves. When LeBron James comes back in the fold, LeBron James is not a guy that you're going to put in the dunker spot, like Kenny Smith said. He's not a guy that you're going to put in the corner. That's not happening. So, I don't know what the mix is. I don't know how to add that into what they got going on. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a challenge for JJ Redick. It's not one of those things where you just get LeBron James back and magic just happens, right? How do you integrate him back into the spot?
I think this is weird. I think it's the first time we really had, not the first time. I think weirdly is LeBron James. This is what his MO is. It was Miami is a different team than Cleveland when he went back. It was a different team than the Lakers when he went and won with Anthony Davis. And all three teams had a cast that had championship caliber qualities. And the championship caliber quality with this team is obviously offense. But it's almost like that outside chance and dream and hope for me. If I was a LeBron, I still like his game. Um, and it just seems like it's right in rhythm in the pattern of his game, of his career. And I would think if he's smart and comparing him to Jordan, going to do it immediately, get it out of the way. If you're going to do that, what better way than be compared to Mike when you say, "Yo, I won with four different teams, completely different teams: Anthony Davis, Kyrie, D Wade, Luka Doncic. No teammate is alike." And granted, he'll be in the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar role at 40 years old. And I say he ain't no damn number one option, but Kareem is like Kareem wasn't no number one option either. People will overstate that. He was the number one option for 20 games in the playoffs. Cool. But that's what LeBron has to wait for. So for me, I don't know if Kenny Smith is correct. Like, I think the other thing he left out was the fact that none of them play defense. They're going to get smoked by OKC, um, Minnesota. Who was a good offensive? Whoever was a good off Golden State, I think, would smoke them on offense. Like, it's going to be a lot. The Nuggets are going
Denver.
to smoke them. So, but you got two guys. Austin Reeves is not like Kenny Smith made a mistake. That he ain't like no joker. I understand his point that have the ball in his hands to create rhythm. That's a big deal. But can LeBron play off ball? Can Luka play off ball? One of them has to learn how to play off ball. That is a fact. But I think
I mean,
LeBron is seasoned enough to go, yo, I'm trying to get number 5, man.
the motor, Luka's motor is revved at too high of a it's revved too high. LeBron's motor isn't revved as high as it used to be. You're still gonna get what you're gonna get out of LeBron James, but to elevate them to a high level, taking the ball out of Luka Doncic's hands, I don't think is the move. I just don't think that's the move at this stage of everybody's career, where everybody's at, the level that everybody's playing at. You can't take the ball out of his hands. And what he becomes now, a guy that plays off the ball, right? Now you try to adjust, you try to get him to adjust. I think you get the older player to adjust, the guy who's going to be walking out the door sooner rather than later, right? And you just add him. Like, the role that LeBron James needs to be playing right now is actually a role. Like, he doesn't need to be dominant for them to win. I just don't think that it's there anymore. He doesn't need to be a 25, 8-8 guy anymore. The winning and the success doesn't weigh on if he's playing at an elite supreme level. If that's the case, then they're in trouble. Because you asking him now to muster that up night in and night out. That ain't easy, and I don't think that's particularly smart. So I think you can see what you have right now. DeAndre Ayton is playing really inspired right now. They got Jake LaRavie, whoever the fuck that is, playing at an elite level, just shot making.
You saw that when Ant-Man said, somebody in the crowd yelled out, "Yo, who's number 12?" He said, "We don't know."
We don't know. I'm asking the same questions. So, you know what I mean? Like, they got a thing going on over there. JJ Redick has a good rotation. They 7-2 right now. They playing good ball through their first 9 to 10 games. You know, don't come and rock the boat, baby. Just come in and play.
And that's the thing. Like, as much as he could be thinking about his legacy or whatever, the last thing about LeBron is that he wants to rock the ball. He's the center of attention. He can't get out of the way. He is clumsy. He started the season off. He basically suspended himself. I don't know if his back is hurt. I don't really care. You're 1,000 years old, so you deserve the time off. But it's the way he goes about things, and credit to him because we haven't heard a thing from him yet. Like, there's no real. Usually he drops some like, "Yo, I might retire tomorrow, guys." There's usually some. So I might have
Yeah.
to take that. I walk it back a little bit. He's been doing a great job of holding his superstardom as calm as possible. I think because he's still a superstar at the end of the day, and you can't.
Yes.
He knows what it means to be in Luka's spot, and I think he's done a pretty good job at just like, "Yo, Luka, you do your thing."
Well, in this fourth iteration, last thing I'm gonna say with this, in his fourth iteration of different style of team, maybe in this iteration he has to also factor in that he's an aging superstar, and that's and it's not the typical way, right? He's not a liability out there. He's not a guy that you got to get off the floor, that you can't play because he's going to be a detriment. But the style, the effect that he has on the game has to change at this time at this stage of the game. It has to, and that's not an indictment on who he is, his career, his legacy. None of that. We're talking about what's in front of them right now and how those guys are playing. He doesn't need to come in and dominate the ball and knock off the rhythm. He needs to gracefully ingratiate himself into into the lineup and get it going.
Speaking of them Lakers, the one thing that we didn't touch on is the fact that they're a shock. I did not expect them to be 7-2. Plenty of teams playing well, plenty of teams not doing what we thought they would do. Desmond Bain or Orlando didn't really do what we thought it was going to do. The Knicks are starting to come around, so the surprise isn't really there yet. But Boston, they weren't expected to do much. But we're talking about the surprise teams here, like San Antonio,
Mm,
Detroit Pistons, the
there
Lakers
you
we just
go.
mentioned.
There you
Who do you
go.
have as the biggest surprise team in the NBA right now?
Biggest surprise team I have right now. Ooh, I'm a roll with Chicago. I'm a roll with Chicago only because of how they're playing collectively as a basketball team. And it really, really seems like Josh Giddey has taken another step in his game. And only saying that because we've seen Josh Giddey get triple doubles before. We've seen Josh Giddey play at a really high level, right? He played well in OKC, comes over to Chicago, and he did play well. But this season, he looks like he's really in control. Really in control. He looks stronger, right? They're relying on him to put the ball in the basket right now without Kobe White, right? Vucevic is playing really, really good basketball right now. Billy Donovan got them playing good ball. They started out the season really, really well. So they're my biggest surprise. Yes, that's your guy. I know that's your guy. But they started out the season really, really well. That's my biggest surprise. Detroit, I wouldn't say it's a surprise because you saw everything that you could see out of them last season. The way that they played us against the where they played against us in the first round, that was a formidable matchup, right? We got rid of them, but that was experience, and I think Jalen Brunson just played out of his mind. But they gave us everything we wanted in that series. But for them to be 7-2 right now and really playing at a high level, they've won 5 games in a row. Cade Cunningham is just taking his game again to another level. The leadership, the polish, the poise that he plays with. He's a hard cover. There's not a lot of guys that can cover him, being such a big guard. And Jalen Duren, man, most improved player of the year. Watch. He's on watch right now. Most improved player. That brother, you could put him in pick and roll now, and he can make decisions whether he's going to pass, shoot, or dribble. It's not just simply getting him in pick and roll, him rolling, him not getting it, and getting the fuck out of there. You can actually rely on that guy to put the ball in the basket. He had 30 points last night. It was against the Brooklyn Nets, but he dominated the paint, completely dominated the paint. So I think Detroit, those two teams in the Eastern Conference, if I had to look at the Western Conference, obviously the Lakers. But big shout out to Portland, man. Portland is playing some damn good basketball right now. Minus that setback that they had with Chauncey Billups and him being in that situation that he's in. But
I'm
I
gonna
did
visit.
not know.
Is that really a Portland setback? Because it looks
listen,
like
listen, listen. What's my man? Tiago Splitter is proven to be ready to rock and roll. He must have shot up that coaching carousel and that coaching tree pretty fast because they put the keys in his hand and he's getting results out of that team. Some really, really good results. Love Kamara. Love what Drew Holiday is bringing to them on the leadership qualities. Jeremy Grant is coming off the bench right now, averaging 20 points a game, shooting 50% from the three, shooting 40% from the field. I would love to see him on a contender, but he's playing really, really well for Portland right now. Right? They got some really, really good young players over there. Donovan Clingan, the big boy from UConn. He's in his second year as an NBA player. He's playing well. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing over there. Again, young, super, super young. Shaden Sharp, really putting some polish on his game. He's not just a dunker. He's doing a lot more things with the basketball. So, yeah, I like that team a lot. I think that they're an extreme surprise in the Western Conference thus far.
I was always surprised that Portland didn't win more games because of the identity that they always had with that perimeter defense. They're leading the league in steals as a team. That's not a shock. But then they just have to figure out how to score points. And like you said, adding Drew Holiday for veteran leadership, that's always a plus. Still, the Lakers are the biggest shock for me. I did not expect them to come out, guns blazing. Even though it is Luka, it's like somehow I forgot. He's still Luke. Like, I still can't believe he's a Laker. I'm still getting over that. And I don't know how I'm just forgetting. Or I don't want to say what I'm thinking. It just doesn't seem like it's meant to be unless he goes on a crazy run. But um the Spurs would have had the crown for me if they had one or two losses last, because now the Lakers beat them, Phoenix beat them. Like there's a whole blueprint
But
out on Wemby now.
they had a big win last night against the Rockets. I watched a lot of that. They played well.
Do you feel like they were hacking KD?
Especially down the stretch. Nah, I thought that they had a good game plan going down the stretch of that game. Let Castle create. And they put the ball in Stephon Castle's hands last night. How many he had? I think 13 assists last night. If I'm not mistaken, somebody fact check that. No, we can fact check that.
This is not live, just in case you were wondering, guys. Real quick.
What is Stephon
How many
Castle?
assists you said, right?
Yeah.
Stephon Castle with 13 assists.
See? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, they put the ball in his hands last night down the stretch of that game and let him do whatever he wanted to
bananas.
do. Whatever he wanted to
do. The biggest surprise in the league at this point for me, gotta go with the Detroit Pistons. We always talk about, for everything you just said, for Jalen Duren to be able to perform like that is amazing, because you broke down what I think I try to say when I say, hey, this is why Larry Bird is great, because in the half court, he can pass and shoot and put the ball on the floor in way more places than whoever your best guy is, unless you got Magic and Jordan. And this is what Jalen Duren is. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan or Larry Bird, but these are the guys you got to kind of be like and polish your skills towards. If you're a big man, you go watch, the Tim Dungans of the world, and the real big men from back in the day who could dump it off. They get the ball and dump it off back. Sean Kemp, a lot of these guys that just they were high flyers and big boys too,
but they were skilled.
Given the skilled and given just to be able to accept the responsibility is dangerous for us, because we're Knicks fans. Cade Cunningham, he looks like an MVP candidate.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk that back, because I said he would not get any votes this year if Detroit continues to play at this level. With him being who he is right now, he'll absolutely get MVP votes.
And the team is built right around him. So because I think me and you were going back and forth about him and Banchero, or even him and Ant-Man. I don't know if these guys have the right team built around Cade, And that, again, that lightning in the bottle where it's the right team for Cade, and Cade has the right skill set polishing at the right time. Like for him to be that young and to get it and to perform and display it, this is really dangerous for us, bro. Like we're gonna have to step up and start. We need some bruisers out there to clothesline Cade Cunningham in round number 2, bro. It's something up the playoffs coming up, man.
Listen, I saw a deal that had Book going to Detroit. And I said, that's like the icing. That's like the cherry on top.
For who?
I forget what the deal was, but it just had Devin Booker. And for Cade Cunningham to have a viable scoring option next to him, for me, just takes Detroit to really to the next level. Like they're really good right now, but if you insert like a Devin Booker like player, a guy that can play off the ball, a guy who is not ball dominant, super efficient, and can go get you 25 to 30. If that's next to Cade Cunningham, who's already a pass first guy but can go get it too, for me, when I saw that deal, I cringed because I was like, ooh. If GMs get their eyes on that, and that's like the
veteran number 2 option with championship experience, finals experience.
I love that. I love that move.
Flea, if this was a phone call, I would have been made you talk to Tone. Why are you ruining my day like this, man? Are we live?
Big Flea, the biggest, never the little one.
Yeah, man. We'll be back. Catch us on the flip side. I know what this is. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.